It's race day here in the Hoosier State. We're just hours away from the 109th running of the Indianapolis 500. We've got full team coverage from the track coming up in just a few minutes. And here's a live look at IMS at the Pagoda, as we know thousands of fans will soon see the greatest spectacle in racing.
And we're hoping for no sprinkles out there for the spectacle, but we will have clouds and cool temperatures. One of the coolest races that we have had in some 20 years. We're going to talk about your forecast, these chilly temps, and potentially any sprinkles on the radar.
Good Sunday morning to you, everyone. Welcome to Race Day. We have a packed show as we count down until the green flag is waved. And that's not all. We know the Pacers, Lindsay, are playing here at home tonight for the Eastern Conference Finals against the Knicks. So Game 3. So talk about the Pacers and Racers. So we know the big question is, will these little sprinkles of rain hold out during the day? I know. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about the forecast. Especially, we're going to keep that track dry if we're going to have to get those dryers out later today. Yeah, for sure. But we want to get to Lindsay in just a minute. But first, we want to bring in our team over at IMS. So Julia and Jalea, I see you guys are all decked out, ready to go. How's it going over there at IMS?
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, you'll notice we have several layers on.
Yeah.
We layered up today just in case because we're hoping it does warm up. It's not really too bad out here, though.
It's really not. I had an extra layer on under here that I was able to get rid of. But I think that for the most part, as long as we're dry to start the day, I think that trumps the weather. You can prepare for that.
Yeah, it's crazy how many people are already out here. Obviously, workers that are out here that are part of the day today. Gates open here at 6 a.m. this morning. We've talked so much about this being a sold-out race, so that we'll obviously be able to see it live on TV. But you can still get tickets. If you're up this early and you're kind of on the fence, now you see the weather is going to be cooperating. The office where they sell tickets opens at 5 a.m. Now, it's only general admission tickets, but, maybe this is the year you want to get out here and see something.
And with that being said, that is something that leadership has warned us about a little bit earlier, saying to be careful if you're buying tickets from those third-party sites because there are parts of the race that are sold out. But let's get a check on our forecast. This is how it goes on race day. We always want to know, what are we preparing for, Lindsay? And I saw we're looking for the possibility of sprinkles, but what's the timeline for that? Good morning, Lindsay.
The timeline going to be coming up here in a couple of hours. Wanted to start with a look at the bigger picture and the overall setup for today. So outside right now, temperatures have fallen into the 50s. Our sky has been mostly clear during the overnight. However, just back to our west, we're watching this swath of rain that's moving into portions of central and northern Illinois. This is actually going to be interacting with some much drier air that we have in place over Indiana. So even some of that rain down near St. Louis, as this whole system works its way west, it's interacting with that pocket of dry air close to the surface. I think that's going to really eat up a lot of that moisture that is contained to those rain showers back to our west. So this is basically the shower activity that we are watching as it tracks east. But again, I think a lot of that is going to start to erode and perhaps even evaporate before it even gets to Indiana. And then what does stay contained, a lot of that evaporates on its way to the surface as it runs into that drier slot close to the ground. So hopefully that means we won't feel much in the way of sprinkle action here on the ground. But it is something that we're watching out for, at least a light shower today. Live look over at Crawfordsville Road and High School Road, a very busy stretch, of course, over the next few hours. Still relatively light for now as we currently sit at 56 degrees. Important to note that the dew point is at 42. That's a good indication that we still have some dry air in place. And then over the next few hours, as the gates open here at 6 a.m., and then as the cars head to pit lane, I do anticipate cloud cover increasing, and again, an occasional sprinkle possible, hoping that that's not going to have much of an impact on our race day. But for now, we want to get you back out to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Matt and Chuck.
Good morning, Lindsay, and folks, good morning to you. We're crossing everything we can just to make sure that it doesn't rain, but it probably will at least a little bit out here today. I was noticing this beautiful Corvette e-car.
Oh, yeah.
That's not raindrops on there, right, Matt?
It's not. No, at 4 a.m. they're giving one more wash, so that's good. The water's from a water hose, but my goodness, this is a beautiful car.
Corvette is going to be the name of the game out here today, right?
Yes, this is that E-Ray.
Well, this E-Ray E-Ray means a lot to me personally because we did a Chuck's Big Adventure in Kentucky last year, and I got to drive this vehicle. And by the way, it does go, the standard E-Ray does go 180 miles an hour.
Wow.
Don't ask me why I know that, okay? Because it never happened. But Corvette, the ZR1 pace car we're going to see later today, and it's quite a car.
That one actually has a top speed of 233 miles per hour. That thing is fast. It's actually the fastest American-made car by an auto manufacturer in the U.S. So it's very appropriate that it's here on the track. And
coming up about 6:45, we are going to go and look at that car. We're going to show you what it's like. It is an amazing piece of work. And by the way, Chevy has had 38 pace cars in this race, and the Corvette first made an appearance in 1978, and this will be the 22nd pace car from Corvette out there today. You're going to get to see that. We're also going to have a lot of fun out here talking to people and seeing the Borg Warner Trophy a little later. But Julia and Jalea, right now, we're just keeping our fingers crossed that, as Lindsay said, we have a mainly dry day with just a few passing showers out here later on.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed too, Chuck. Thank you. And I know that he tested out the pace car a little bit on carb day.
Yeah, I think we need to check his pockets at the end of race day.
He has the keys.
I see that. Make sure he does not have Corvette keys in his pocket.
But let's let you know what you need to know if you are headed this way. You know, gates open at 6. You'll hear the large cannons that'll go off for us in about an hour or so. But let's talk you through some of the other events that are happening. So the Snake Pit opens up dark and early at 7, or it could probably be brighter
That
than.
is just crazy to me.
To start that early.
And they line up to get in so that they are front and center.
Early bird gets the worm. And then they have the driver introductions. That starts at 11:47 a.m. And then we have the national anthem. That'll be sung by Natalie Grant this year.
Yeah, that's really neat. Also, what we have at 12:39, drivers start your engines. And then we are all waiting for that green flag at 12:46. But Scott and Ann have this great tradition on race day where they always hang out with those people who are first in line outside the speedway. They are there right now. I know there is a huge line there, you guys. It is every year, and sometimes you see the same people every year. Good morning to you guys.
Well, good morning. Yes, we've done this before.
Yes,
You're well established. It's interesting because it's really active out here at 5 o'clock in the morning, and you know, we're 5-6 hours away before all the cool stuff really gets underway, and yet everyone wants to make sure that they're here early, starting with this group today.
Yeah, we're going to meet in a moment a group of 60 people that got here at 12:30 this morning. This is the first of 5 cars that were lined up here along 16th Street, ready to get in the track. This is a long-time tradition, as it is for many people.
Well, it is. They're the Rissingers and the Dukes, and it's interesting because they've been camping out here, and they have a culinary extravaganza planned for today. I want you to keep in mind, all this time that we're walking, all that these cars that we're passing, all are part of their contingent, and we're going all the way up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until we finally get to Scott. He's over here.
That's right. This is our first car that's right here, and the man who's got all the holes.
Congratulations, you secured the first spot. This is Scott Rissinger. Let me get over here so Scott can get in here.
Great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning.
The fact that stunned me the most was that he has 16 chickens.
Whole chickens.
Whole chickens.
And 60 chicken breasts and 40 chicken thighs.
So what is on tap for breakfast? And then give us the lunch menu.
Yeah, breakfast is bacon, hash browns, eggs, pancakes. We added chocolate chips this year, so chocolate chip pancakes as well. So, and then we have our bacon explosion rolls, and then we have chicken teriyaki, chicken fried rice, brats and smuts, and hot dogs for lunch. And then that whole time I'm smoking the 16 whole chickens for after the race.
Oh, there's room for you if you want to come over.
Chicken. Absolutely. Come on down, have some.
Hopefully there'll be plenty for everybody in your contingent. 60 people, 5 cars, including guests from Germany.
That is correct, yeah. I think they're hiding in a truck right now. But yeah, we have 2 people that came in from Germany. We have people coming from Minnesota. Our Atlanta contingent didn't couldn't make it this year, but we have people from all over the U.S.
And this is the group that you're seeing here from Hope College. That's right, in Michigan, in Holland, Michigan.
Yes, and we have warmed up. It was 51, and now we're, in the higher 50s, 55, 56. So you got your blankets. You look all cozy here.
Yes, I'm so cozy.
I know. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, so we've got crews outside the track that includes Sam and Anna. They're over at Gate 1.
Yeah, tell us what you ladies are seeing this morning, and happy race day to you.
Happy race day to you. That's right. I think we're in the wrong spot because that was much more of a party. Things are pretty calm here at Gate 1.
They're quiet. We love it, though. But we've got a line. We've got a couple people filling in the best outfits ever. They got some sweatshirts under the outfits because it's a little chilly, but we'll take it.
Yeah, we've got a couple layers on. Like Lindsay mentioned, a little chillier than we've seen in years past, but honestly, so far, so good.
Yeah.
I can tell you traffic is starting to pick up probably in the last 30 minutes or so as we get more folks showing up. Again, gates open at 6 here on the southwest corner.
For sure. And we want to make sure you know the things before you get into this gate because there's a lot.
Yeah.
So here's the things you don't want to bring in. The obvious. Drones, don't want to do that. Glass bottles, don't want to do that. We were looking through the list, some funny ones. Don't bring your trampoline. I know you probably got it in the trunk right now, ready to go. Don't bring that. Don't bring your swimming pool. Also, we know you want to capture the moment. We want to make these TikToks, make your memories. Can't bring in your selfie stick.
Leave the selfie sticks and the trampolines in your car. What you can bring, though, reminder, those carts, wagons, strollers, those are all welcome. Coolers, food, beverage, bring them in. The cool thing about the security here is you don't have to open those. You can just walk right through. So things are pretty calm and quiet here at Gate 1 so far. We will be here, though, when these gates open. Our friend Alex Almanza has a great assignment today. He's inside. Alex, what are you up to this morning?
Good morning. We're here at turn 3 of the Speedway, and right now it's the calm before the storm, but not for long. In just a few hours, gates will open for the Coors Light Snake Pit, one of the wildest traditions tied to the Indy 500. Thousands of fans are expected to turn out for this here in the infield, and what can only be described as an interesting way to wake up on a Sunday morning. You can actually see some crews are testing some of the equipment on the stage, some of the cool bells and whistles. But starting at 8 a.m., we're talking a full morning of electronic dance music. A lot of different DJs are going to be up there on the stage before the green flag waves. But this is something much different from the race itself. So you're going to need that wristband or general admission to get in. Tickets are actually still available, but we're going to be live here all morning as those fans pour in, and we'll bring you the latest here from turn 3.
All right, Alex, I know you'll survive that. And it looks like they're already testing the smoke machine this morning. Thanks, Alex.
All right, we have so much more to come here on 13 Sunrise. Our race day coverage continues in just a bit. We'll be right back.